I think we're live now. So I'll send you the link. So I'm waiting for a few people to join. Mike, let me know if you're here. Dave to let me know if you're here. But you can ask me any question though. If you get any question, you can just ask me. All right, so this is my hosting platform, which is hosting us. So I'm just going to log into my panel. And this is like logging into each panel. And this is a fresh installation. No website is on this one. I deliberately wanted to start a fresh installation this time around so that you see how I go about it. So the first thing I do is probably go to my settings and check if everything is fine. I don't worry about the site logo. What I worry about is my reading. And I'm going to set that later because I don't have any pages, but we can set permalinks. So make sure your permalinks is on post name and save. After you save, then we are going to add a theme. So the theme that we can use is Astra or Hello Elementor. But so I'm just going to clean the website. I'm going to delete all these default themes that WordPress have installed for us. All right, then the next thing, I'm not going to install the theme yet. I'm going to look for a template. So I'll go to plugins, then in my plugin section, what I'm going to do is add Elementor plugin. I'm going to be moving fast, so you can just follow up or slow the video to catch up. I'm going to install Elementor and I'll activate it. Then the next thing I'm going to do is install starter template. So it's Elementor will prompt you to log in. You don't need to log in, just continue as a guest and skip every login processes. You don't need to log in to use the free version. All right, since it's done, let's go back to our dashboard. And I'm going to add another plugin, which is starter templates. So usually this starter templates comes with a theme. That is why I have not installed a theme first. So you can go ahead and install a theme like Astra or Hello Elementor. Right. So all you need is Elementor and starter template. You can just start with starter template as well. The reason being that I want to get global design systems with from the starter template so that I can just go ahead and build, right? But we can also go to Google Stitch and get some inspirations for our design. So we can go to Stitch and it will take you to the Google Stitch website, or just Google search for Google Stitch. So this is the design I was working on yesterday. I'm going to copy the same prompt, and I'm going to generate another variation of this design for the next website. So I'm going to paste the prompt and make sure I choose web format. I'm going to paste the prompt here, same prompt, and I'm going to generate it. So I'm just trying to generate a like design reference. Okay, so if you don't know where to start from, like you obviously you know we are building a school website. Yeah, so all you need is some design reference. I don't know how to share the prompts, but I'll share it on WhatsApp in the Telegram, yeah, the WhatsApp group, so you can pick the prompts from there. So it's good. I'll send you the prompts. Yeah. So you can, if you want my prompts, you can just go to the WhatsApp group and get the prompt in the WhatsApp and give it to Google Stitch, and Google Stitch will design your page. You can as well let ChatGPT change the prompt or change the design um, style a little bit so that yours will look a little bit different from mine. Okay, so I just pasted the prompt in the group. So let me know, guys, if you get the prompt. Let me know so that we can continue. So Google Stitch will generate the pages. I think the prompt also tells the Stitch or the AI the number of pages that we want, the number of uh, pages, actually the page direction. You're going to get history, programs, events, showcase, and alumni. What we are trying to build is a faculty website. So that is it. You've not received it yet. Yeah, I think the network it will come soon. Okay. So whilst the page is generated, let's go ahead and set up our website. Okay, so normally hosting will give you some unneeded plugins. So deactivate, I'm going to deactivate this one. I'm going to deactivate this one. Although I just updated them, but I don't need them. So I'm going to click on here, bulk actions, and deactivate. I'm going to apply. So it's going to deactivate. Then I'll bulk action again and I'll delete them. Could have just deleted them straight as well. Okay, so I think the prompt has been delivered to the group, so you guys can check it out. Now we can go ahead and continue with our design. So I'm going to start our starter template. Okay, all you need is to click on get started. And we are going to build with templates and Elementor. So, so go ahead and choose the design that you want. Make sure you don't pick an e-commerce because e-commerce will come with another plugins. We are just trying to build um, a faculty website, an educational website. So it is not a shopping website. So make sure you don't pick an e-commerce website. Something like clothing store. Avoid clothing store. And what we need is the direction alone. So if you like the direction, I mean, you can still work with it. We are going to delete a lot of things later. Okay, so you can just search for, let's say, school education. We don't have anything like that. So let's search for school. Let's see if we can get something similar. Yeah. Okay, so you can see there are some school websites. This is a school website. So let's go ahead and click on this. And we are going to select the fonts. Okay. Okay, so I think I'll go with this. It says working sans and int. I think it's very, very nice. And you can choose the color scheme. Okay. So I think here you can just pick two color schemes and work on them later. If you want inspiration for a color scheme, I think you can just reference the the logo. Okay, the logo for the school you are designing, the logo for the website you are designing, and pick your color scheme from that. Okay, so I think my logo has blue, red, and yellow. And I have a lot of colors I can pick from this section. I'm just gonna go with this one. And I'm gonna click on continue. And this session, you can see it's gonna give me UAE add-ons. It's gonna give me WP forms, and it's gonna give me Elementor. Asterisk means required. So this plugin or this starter template requires Elementor, WP forms, and UAE. Okay, these are just optional. You don't need it, so you can just skip this step and skip this step. So it will just give you the required plugins that you have to use. So it's going to give me all these plugins by default. So that is what it's going to install. So it will take some time to install. So okay, so we are done installing the plugins. We are going to go ahead and build the websites or the fees. So I think I'm hitting an error for the first time. So we're going to try again. And I had to install Astra, right? So it's going to go ahead and install Astra for me. Okay, now we are done with the installation. So depending on the design that you pick, you might see things differently. Depending on the design that you pick, you are not going to see these same plugins. But as I said, don't pick e-commerce and you'll be fine. So we're going to finish the setup. You can just view the website, but let's finish the setup. You can view it later. And I'm going to go ahead and check my Stitch designs. So Stitch helps you get like quick wireframes, something that you can just use to build. So it's not done, it's still generating the screens. Okay, so my starter template has fully installed. Just if you have any question. I mean, if you have any question, you can send it in the comment section. For some reason, my comment section is not loading, but if you have any question, you can let me know. So yeah, we can dismiss this here and let's take a look at our website. So this is the website we are going to be working with, and it looks quite nice. It looks quite nice. Yeah. Okay. So I am going to the dashboard. I'm going to rip off the pages. When I say rip off the pages, I'm going to delete all the pages in the website. So that is what I'm going to do. I don't need the pages. I just need the design or the global design reference. Let's say the colors, the typography, because I don't want to spend time setting that up. Because any professional build, you have to make sure you set up your design or your global design directions. So if you check my client ready WordPress book, right, in page 7, you will see that it is in the book that you have to set up your design styles. So if you haven't read the book, please try and get a copy of the book. So let's go ahead. I'm going to clean everything. I'm going to leave the contacts page because of the form. And yesterday, I showed you how to create a form. So I'm going to select and bulk action, move to trash, and I'm going to apply. So I'm going to change the name of this home screen for some reason, because I think I like the design of the hero section really much. That is why I'm keeping it. So I'm going to add a new page here. Let's say you want to create a new home page, and we are going to name it home. Before that, make sure you have your theme. So the template comes with a theme, and the theme is Astra. I wanted the template to just pick up a theme for us, and it picked Astra. So if you are wondering, you can install Astra before starting, but the template picked Astra for us. So I'm going to put home here, and I'm going to publish this home page. Then I'm going to click edit with Elementor. So, um, excuse me if I'm not able to mention your name. This is Gillian, right? She says, can one host a WordPress website made with AI? A WordPress website made with AI. So before you're able to build your WordPress website, usually you've already hosted it. So kindly come clear with your question and I can give you a clear answer. So you can also ask your questions in the WhatsApp group and I'm going to respond. So I'm going to hide this big title. This what I mean. Okay, I'm going to hide the big title. So what I'm going to do is click on page settings and I'm going to hide page title and I'm going to click on page layout and we're going to use Elementor for width. And I'm going to click on publish. So one more setting that I have to do, let's go back to our dashboard and let's go to Elementor editor and go to settings. When you go to settings, navigate to atomic elements and make sure you can just close these pop-ups. They're not important, they're just ads. So go to atomic editor and let's deactivate. So if yours is activated, make sure you deactivate. It's a new feature that they are trying to like bring out. It's for developers. As a beginner, you don't need to bother with this. It will just get you more confused. So after you deactivate atomic editor, let's go back to our page editor and click on this Elementor logo here and click on site settings. So the reason why we went with a theme is because you can see we already have this global colors here, right? But our theme or our standard template already has colors for us to use, which is different from the global colors. So without going with a template, you would have to go ahead and set your global colors if you're starting from scratch, and that will take you some time. So I'm going to test out my color scheme. So you can see there are a lot of colors here that we can just use straightforward without having to set everything up again. So that is the reason why I started with a standard template and I had to still delete all the pages, although I knew I don't need the pages, but I needed the colors and the typography to make the work easier going forward. So I'm going to start off building our home page. So this design style, you can make it, okay? It's probably easier to make this design style by generating it rather than trying to make it in Elementor. But with this, you can just go ahead and design it with your page builder. So I'm going to design this section and I'm going to generate an image for this section. I hope you're all on the same page. It's good. It's good. You just follow. So I'm building my home page now. I'm going to add a container here and I'm going to give it a minimum height. So we are going to choose view height and I'm going to use 80% view height. So 80% or 80 view height means 80 of what our screen. So probably this is 20 and this space is 80. And I'm going to add two containers. I'm going to duplicate this container. And I'm going to change the direction to horizontal. I'm going to check my design reference again. We need a text, a heading, a text editor, and two buttons. So what we're going to do is add our text. It's a header. I'm going to duplicate this, and this is the small one, so I'm going to probably make it 8.6. And as you know, I don't like typing the fonts or the content, so I'm going to make AI generate the content for me. So I'm going to use this chat to generate my text. Okay, you can go ahead and do same if you want. You're just going to take a screenshot and I'm going to paste it here. And I'm going to ask it to type for me. Obviously, this is way faster than me trying to go back and forth and type everything myself, right? So I'm going to paste this here. And I'm going to copy and paste this one over here. Okay. And I'm going to also get my text editor. I'm going to copy. I'm going to paste my text editor here. And for the button, I need it side by side, but this container is by default is in the vertical, right? So we cannot put buttons here. Let's see, let's try something. If I put this button here and I duplicate this, it's going to be stuck up and down, but we don't want that. So I'm not going to use that. What I'm going to do is create another container here. And with that container, I'm going to put the two buttons here. And I'm going to show you the difference. So let's do the same thing and duplicate. But with this container, you can go ahead and change the direction so that it will stack side by side. So this is how you build. Okay, if we change the direction of this container, it's going to mess the whole layout. So you don't do that. You rather add a new container. That's when you work on the directions if you want to. So you can go ahead and change the text. I'm gonna change the text for the showcase too. So with the buttons, you will need one dominant color. So I'm going to make sure I change this buttons color to yellow. So I'm going to go to the style, and in the style tab, there are a lot of styles here that you can choose from. Okay, so we are in normal. We have text color, background color, main color, right? So what we're going to do is the background color. That is what we're going to change. We can use gradient, and this is classic. So when we change to gradient, we can make it a gradient. Okay, you can just make this background color. ingredients, but we don't want that. So we're going to use classic. And I'm going to undo this. And I'm going to select for my global styles. So the main reason again why we started with a standard template, but we don't need to use a standard template is to get global styles. Okay, we need global styles. So I'm going to get my background to yellow and I'm going to change the text color to white. Okay, and this we can leave it white. Okay, but it's really faded. Let me see, let me preview it. Okay, I don't think it's that bad, but we can give it a border by going to the styles and change the border type. Okay, the border type, we are going to give it a solid border type and border width of 1. So when you choose a border width, you can go ahead and choose your color, and you can see we have a nice border width for it. So these are also CSS that you need to understand. This is what CSS means. If you have no idea what CSS means, I have a crash course on CSS in my channel. Make sure you go through. It will help you understand how to design your web pages and make them look nicer. So I'm going to give some space here at the top. I'm going to the advanced settings, and padding is spaces in between your container and margin is spaces outside your container. So if I give margin to this container, let me add a margin to the top like 80. You can see it has given spaces here. And when I undo it, you can see it has closed. It doesn't change anything. If you want to give the space, you can just go ahead and give it a margin and preview, it will disappear. It will look normal, right? Same thing, you can just go ahead and give it a padding, and you see what padding does. Padding gives it inside the container, and if you preview too, it feels the same thing. Just that based on your direction of your design, it may affect your design, but depending on what you want to do, it will not make much difference. But you need to understand that as well. So I'm going to get some image. So let me know if your Google Stage design is done. I didn't get one page. One page wasn't able to generate, but it's fine. You can continue like this. Okay, so one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure this page is published and I'm going to preview it. And now this is another important workflow, how I let ChatGPT understand my global system. Now I'm already working right. AI doesn't know what I'm working on. AI don't know how I started, but I'm going to inspect my page, inspect my style settings. Okay, so this is like another step, very important. If you miss it, your day will be messy. So I'm going to copy everything, and you can see all my styles are here. So AI will know what I'm using for this website. So this is the 4th website I'm building, and I'm going to give it all the copied code, right? And I'm going to paste it. I'm going to send the code, and you will see it will draft all my global styles and typography. So if you're able to do this, then you can let it write code for you to use in your HTML widgets. So this is how you get it to be able to write code properly for you. So I'm going to leave the image generation for later. Let's go ahead and continue with this section. Crazy why Google Stitch is using my name instead of the school's name. So please check the prompts, and if you see that, please try and fix it. So it's good. I hope you're able to follow. Sure, I think I will read it. Oh, okay, sure, sure. I will read that something. All right, no problem. All right. So yeah, as I said, it's good to slow the video down if I'm going too fast and try and build quickly, because it will get to some time out, build faster than this. This is as slow as I can go. So now AI has my design system. It knows my primary color, my hover color, my dark navy, my body text, my pale gold color. It knows my font as well. So at this point, I can just ask it to write some prompts for me and it would write it for me. I think it makes my primary font, which is which is working sans. So I'm going to make sure it catch up with that. So this is working sans. You can see it here. So you can just take a full screenshot. So apart from that, everything else is fine. So I'm going to copy this, and you can see it has updated its memory. So we are not going to see these mistakes again. Always make sure you fact check when you're working with AI. Okay, so I'm going to add a new container here, and I'm going to make sure I build this design. So assuming this is Figma and we are building from Figma, this is how developers build from Figma. Okay, with Figma, you get it pixel perfect. You'll be able to know the spacing, everything is pixel perfect. So I'm going to give it a padding here, padding in at the top, right? So the top padding, usually I like to use 80, and the bottom is probably 120. That is what I prefer. And I'm going to align content. I'm going to go to the layout, right? And I'm going to justify content to the center. I'm going to add a text editor here. I'm going to align the text editor. So you can align the text editor or you can align the whole container. It works, okay? And this is our heritage. Okay, so this is H2. So if we are going per this design style, I'm going to make it a little bit small. So although it's H2 is supposed to be big, but I'm going to make it smaller. And I'll add a text editor. I'll drag and drop it here. I'm going to copy all this text here. I'm going to paste this here. And I'm going to align this text to the center. So you can see it feels too wide, right? So we're going to go to the advanced settings and we are going to make the width custom and we can just adjust the width. So when you do that, you have to go to your mobile and tablet version and make sure you adjust them nicely. Okay, so with this, it's already adjusted, but it is kissing the edges of the left and right. So we are going to work on the padding and I'm going to give it a padding of 20 on all sides. So left, bottom, right, and top, padding of 20. I'm going to put this in the center. Okay, and let's go ahead and adjust our hero section as well. So what I'm trying to do is align these buttons to the center. Right, anything that works, okay. There's no formula, so it's trying to prove someone. So I'm just going to align the or push it by adding more space to the middle. Okay, I mean the edges of the container itself. So you can add spaces to the edges of the container. Also, I can just remove this secondary button because the text feels like this secondary button is like shorter and this one feels too long and it's making the design inappropriate. I mean, it's not visually looking good for me. So this is a lot of back and forth. Okay, this is a lot of back and forth. Yeah, so manually, if you want to build, this is what you have to go through all the time. You are building with WordPress to make sure your designs are um, mobile responsive. So I have a workflow that I use to automate this, and I have a video on that as well in my channel. So make sure you follow up. When we are done with this course, in this design series, we are going to also try that workflow that we can automate and build templates so that we can use. Right, so let's go ahead and change this text. Yes, so we are going to go ahead and add this. Okay. Okay, I think I missed this line here. And I also missed the fact that this text is italic. So you can just go through the typography and you check the text. Okay, you can check the style and you can see italic. So you can make it italic very nicely. And you click on publish. And I'm going to change this color here. So I think maybe you might get a different design from mine, but the fundamentals are all the same. So if you are building the same as mine, that's fine. But if you get a different design too, you can just use the same system and build. So I'm going to add this text and this icon. I don't know if it's an icon or it's a text, right? But I'm going to try and create it as close as we can get. So we'll add a full container and we have container 1, container 2, container 3, container 4. Aside this big container. So we're going to have like 5 containers in all. So this is how you have to map your design before you start building. Else, when you are done building and it doesn't work, you have to go back and break it down and do it again. So we already have our container 1, and we are going to add the inner containers 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then we are going to change the direction of these containers to horizontal row. Okay, so then we can go ahead and add our text. And I think the heading is let me change the color and let's see what we can see. Okay, so now I'm gonna add the text here. So I'm going to add my text and I'm going to change the number to 40. But literally it's not 40, it's 30. So please, if you are following, just make sure you don't make these mistakes. It's 30 plus. I'm going to align it to the center. And I'm going to add some text. With this text, you can add normal text or you can choose to add a heading and make it small. So 30 plus years of legacy. So this will be the gold, and the other one, the text will be somehow, let me see, white is fine. And I'm going to make sure it's a little bit closer. I think the fonts or the system I'm using uses a lot of spaces, but I'll try and make it as premium as possible. So what I'm going to do next is instead of creating the same thing over and over, I'm just going to duplicate this again, right? So I'm going to duplicate and delete this ones. So I'm going to write my 2.5K here. Total alumni. And I'm not sure about this, how accurate this is, but we'll manage it. Global awards 85. Interesting. And 12 industry partners. 嗯 So what I'm going to do is make this a gradient. Okay. Before that, I'm going to give some padding at the top. 20, you see 30, 30 at the bottom. Then I'm going to make it a gradient. So I have to correct this. I don't like building with um, the templates that people sell. Okay, instead of using these gradients, you know what? I'll just pick the same gradients, right? And I'm going to pick a color from this. Okay, so it's either we increase the saturation this way or the lightness this way. Okay, so this is great. Instead of picking another color, we just manipulated the same gradients. I mean the same color, right? And we got something nicer. But I'm going to make sure I reduce the brightness a little bit. Okay, this is fine. So we're going to publish this. Okay. I think I missed one divider here, so I'm going to add a divider. I'm going to search for a divider and place it here. And I'm going to control the width, make it 10, place it in the center, go to styles, reduce the gap to 0, and I'm going to change the color to this. Okay, and I want it to get closer, so I'm going to go through and I'm going to reduce or minus the margin 15. I'm going to publish this so I can check the mobile, the desktop. I'm going to check the mobile version too. And it looks good so far, so good. Yeah, we're in business. So the image I'm going to generate it later, but let's go ahead and focus on the design. You can add an image container here. Okay, and let's just get an image to use for now. Okay, so I'm going to go through. Let's try and use this image. Okay, so yeah, and we can align the image to the center, clicking on the stars, and we are going to justify center and publish. So now we can preview our design. The image can be better. We can click on the image and give it some round corners here. Click on publish. So we are going to follow up with this, right? So what I'm going to do with this is normally we will need to use a widget, but we will do something about it. So let's go ahead and add our timeline or timestone journey text. Okay. So let's go ahead and add a new container. You want to click on publish. Yeah, yeah, the video is so it's being recorded. So you can rewatch it. Okay, it's being recorded to my channel. So I think for this page, we are going to be using a lot of H3s. Or I can just go and reduce the size of my H2. So this is H1. That is too big. Okay. So the timestone journey. The timestone journey. So I'm gonna write my text here. Milestone. Oh my god, milestone, because like, timestone doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know what I'm seeing. So I'm going to create this design by writing code because I don't have any widgets or any free widget that I can do for me. So I'm going to take a screenshot and I'm going to paste the screenshot here. And after this design system is written by ChatGPT, I'm going to ask it to build this design. So it's going to build this design for HTML widgets. So I'm going to copy the design system, and after I'm done building the home page, I'm going to end the stream and I'm going to continue the design. So I mean, tomorrow we will be doing the same live stream, same time, and we'll see how far we've taken the designs. Okay. You build, hmm, build, oh, build. Yes. So we've been streaming for an hour now, and yeah, I think we've done a lot. I'm gonna show one last workflow, which is using HTML widgets, and we're gonna pause the stream. We're gonna continue tomorrow. So build this design for all, yeah, for HTML widgets. So what I mean is I'm gonna let oh, okay, so what I mean is I'm gonna use HTML widgets in this section. So I'm gonna search for HTML. So this is what I mean by HTML widget. And it's gonna use this widget to create that design, this design. So simply you can literally use HTML widgets to create all your website designs, but it's a lot complex if you're editing it later. So I wouldn't advise you to just go ahead and spam HTML widgets across your website, else you have a hard time editing your website files. So I'm going to add a container and add our HTML widgets. I'm going to drop it here, and it's done. So I'm going to copy the complete code, and I'm going to paste the complete code here. So it decided to add the milestone in some way. Yeah, so let's go ahead and clear this one. Or we can just, yeah, I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense, right? It makes sense. Or we can just decide to delete this. But I'm going to delete this rather, and I'm going to stick with this one. think I have to give it a strict code or a strict prompt rather, because I don't like the fact that I'm getting the white background. So I'm going to ask it to build it again without background and exactly as I have given it. So Mike, sorry, I was having an issue with my comment section, right? So you said the advanced section besides the style at the top left corner, mine shows interactions. What is the reason? So the reason is, you know, starting off, we went to disable atomic element, and you did not disable atomic element. So that is the reason. So you have to disable atomic editor. Okay. So let me know if you are with me, Mike. You have to disable atomic editor. Okay, so I'm going to go through that for your sake. Um, that means you literally have not been able to follow up because of that. Okay, so I think the code works again. It works now. So yes. Okay, so this is pixel perfect. Pixel. This is what we call pixel perfect. Okay, exactly, exactly the same thing. That is what we call pixel perfect. Okay. So, Mike, let me know if you are still around. Let me just go back and show you how to disable your atomic editor. Okay, so what you have to do is disable this. Mike, this is what you're seeing. This is what you're seeing. So you have to go to Elementor. Okay, when you go to Elementor, you go to settings. When you go to settings, you go to atomic editor here and you will see disable. Because I'm disabled, you can see activate. When you activate, you see what you're seeing. Okay, so you have to disable it. When you disable, as I said, it's a new feature, it's in beta, and you don't need it to build. Okay, so you can just disable it. You know, we did it, but I guess you joined it as you said. So let me know if you're, I mean, if you've been able to do it. Okay. Okay, so let's go ahead and continue with our design. So I'm gonna start building real fast. Okay, so just make sure you follow along. If you don't understand anything, just ask me. Yeah, so Mike, please go ahead and disable your atomic editor and let me know if it works. Okay, Dave, I see you, Dave. Dave, so how is it going? Are you able to follow? Let me know if you are having any challenges. Also, Mike, let me know if you've been able to fix your issue so that we can go ahead. Okay. So this HTML widget, I'm going to remove these pictures. So before I do that, what I'm going to do or how to do it is I'm going to my media, I'm going to add media. And when I add the media, I'm going to copy the links of those media. So I'm going to add the media. So for example, let's say I want to add this image. I'm just going to edit the HTML in the source and I'm going to add the image. Okay, so it says program one, and in the program one, we have a div class. So the div class is called what? Program image. This program image helps CSS. So this div class is just for CSS. And we have the image itself, and the image class is what? Program image. So this is the program image wrapper. Okay, and this is the program image itself. So you just have to change the image, and this is alt for description. Okay, so thank you, Mike. I'm glad that it worked. I guess you have to start again, or you're able to follow. Let me know. Let me know what's or how far you've been able to go. Are you able to generate your Google State designs? Let me know. So I'm going to try and use this image and see how it goes. Okay, so this image works better. So I'm going to use this image, and you can see there's some spacing here. So I can ask AI to build the spacing for me. So, I mean, building with this is a little bit complex. You have to go through all these classes of images and edit it. But you get premium widgets or premium designs for free or for little money. Okay, so that is also one good advantage of building like this. Okay, so you can click on publish, and let's move on to the next page, which is this one. Okay, so we can just write code with this, because this you don't even have to add pictures. So let's take a screenshot and let's write some code. I'm going to copy this code and paste this code here, and here I'm done. And if you want to change the length of your code, just go through and look for the anchor tag. Okay, so anytime you are going through, when you see this A, it means there's a link involved, and the link is for contact. Okay, and let's see the second one, the second container, to let's see where it goes to. The second container goes to events. So that means we need to create a contact page and event page as well. So let's go back to our dashboard and let's create contact page. So this section we are going to create pages. Okay, so we go to your dashboard, go to pages, and let's create pages. Okay, let's close this once. Let's add a page. We already have a contact page here, but we're going to add an event page. Events. Okay, events. Event with S, and we are going to click on publish. Okay, so for the sake of time, I'm going to head on to the header and footer. Okay, so now you understand the fundamentals a lot, you know how to build. So I'm going to work on the header and the footer. That is very important for you to understand as a beginner. So per my knowledge, there are many ways of creating headers and footers. Okay, this is a footer. This is also a header. Okay, and what you need to do is to go to your dashboard. This is UAE. You can click on it. Let's try and use this to create header and footer. So you can see there's nothing here, although our site has header and a footer. So this header and footer is controlled by the theme. Okay, it's controlled by the theme. So UAE header and footer is different from the theme's header and footer. So make sure you take notes. Anyone, make sure you take notes. So if you add a header here, okay, let's add a header here. Let's name it header. And let's select the options as what header. And let's select entire website. This means it will override the header of or the header given to us by the theme. Okay, if we select entire website and we click on publish, and let's check our website. Okay, although we've not made any design yet, so you can see all of a sudden our header is gone. Okay, now it gives the power of the header design to this UA. Let's disable this entire website and let's update again so that we see the difference. Okay, let's go and refresh. Okay, so now you can see our header is back. Same thing applies to the footer. We can go here, add new, and we add footer. Okay, and we can make it footer. And if we apply this to the entire website and we publish, and if we publish, it takes over, it overrides. It's like a global um design, right? It's going to override this. So let me refresh. You see it's gone. Now we don't have a footer. Okay, so let me go back and undo this. Let's take the powers invested into it. Let's undo this entire website. Let's update it. And when we go back to our page, and when we refresh, there we go. The footer is back. So your question may be then who or where do we edit this footer? This footer is edited by the theme. So we go to appearance. Anything here is customized by the theme. So when you go to appearance, you go to customize. And when you go to customize, you can just go ahead and edit the site header. And you can also edit the site footer. So this is the site header. Let's click on it. Assuming we want to use this header, right? All you need is to change the logo here. Let's find the logo that we want to use from our files. Okay, so we're going to use this logo. Let's update it. And I'm going to click on select this logo. I'm going to accept this cropping. And I'm going to go ahead and let it be. So that is how we update our logo. You can work on the design. Okay, I don't know what this offset is supposed to mean, but it's not necessary. You can work on over on the menu. Okay, so I think this works on the menu because I clicked on the menu. So I was thinking it works on the logo itself. So since I'm working on the logo, let's focus on the logo for now. Okay, so there's a site title here, which is not necessary. So if you have a site title, this is what I mean by site title. You can just clean it up. Okay, you can just clean the site title here, this section. Okay, and let's see the logo. You can just increase the width this way, and the menu looks like this, just one home. Okay, you can just change it later. And here you have social media icons. If you want to add something more, you can just click on add. You can add a button and it adds a button. If you want to edit the button, you can just click on the button and you go to design and you can change the colors. Okay, so I think we are still on the socials. So let's make sure we select the button itself and let's go to design. So this is where you change the button link depending on where the button is going to. So let's say assume it's going to contact page. All you need to do is slash contact and it will go to contact page. And you can change the text to contact and you can change the design. Okay, so let's see what we have. Okay, this is the text color. Okay, when nothing is selected, it takes the global text color. When the background is selected, it changes. Okay, so you can choose this background and choose this text color nicely. And the second section means hover. Okay, so it's showing here. So on hover, we probably want this to go this, right? And we want the text color to get brighter, right? So on hover, you see it will change colors for you. So this is how we do it. And the same thing applies to the footer. So when you are done, make sure you publish. And you can go back and edit the footer. So the footer also, you can edit the footer via the theme. So when you click on this widget, you can just click on this here to edit as well. And you can change your text as you want. And this is useful links. You can just go ahead and create some useful links. You can add some links, but because we don't have any menu yet, I'm not going to add any link for now. So let's close this and let's go and add some pages to the menu. So you can see our footer or our header has just one menu item. Okay, it has just one menu item. So I'm going to go and add menu items to the header. So let's go and click on menu. And right now, the only menu we have is home, events, and contact. So we can just add them to the menu. And let's delete these ones because they were the pages that were deleted earlier on. So let's delete them. Let's delete this one as well. And let's go ahead and save. And let's refresh our menu. So you can see we have this. So let's say we want to take this out of the menu. Let's go back to the menu. And this is the home. Let's remove it from the menu. And make sure you can see this is front page. So we would want to make this the front page. So I will show you how to do that as well. So let's remove this and let's save. Then we go to our site settings and we go to reading and we go to static page. So static page means your home page. So first it was on this home. Let's change it to the single home. That is the one I have created or I have edited so far. And let's check our home page. Let's refresh. You see it's gone. Okay, so you can align or arrange this later in the menus as well. Okay, so I think I would have to pause here, or for an extra bonus, let me show you how to use this UAE to create a header in a design form. So let's say we want to design it, not just the functionalities. Let's design using Elementor. So what we are going to do is to get 3 containers. We get one for logo, one for menu items, and one for our CTA. Okay, so let's go ahead and add this container. And as usual, how we've been designing throughout, that is how we do it. Add container. We need 3, so we're going to duplicate this and duplicate this as well. And we are going to change the direction as well. And we are going to put an image here, and we are going to add the logo here to this image, as simple as ABCD. And we are going to minimize the width. Okay, and with this we can put a menu here, so we can search menu. Okay, and you can get navigation menu, any kind of menu works. Okay, and you can add a button here. Okay, so that is it. Perfect. So this is how you create a menu with the UAE, and you have to make sure you align this to the center. Align this to the center. Minimize this a little bit. Okay, and you can align this also. Align items center, and with this you can also do the same. Align items center. Now you have your menu here. Because I didn't make it to the entire website, if I refresh, I don't expect it to override. I just wanted to show you how to create the menu with this. Okay, so if I want it to override, all I need is to go back and change the settings and make it entire website and updates. And when I do that, when I come here and I refresh, it's going to override. So you can see it has become the new menu. All right, so thank you for watching this stream tonight. We are going to continue, God willing, tomorrow. So I'm going to show you what I've been able to build. You can also show me what you've been able to build, and send me a screenshot of what you've been able to build. Okay, and I'm going to probably try and fix your designs on live stream. Okay, I'm going to build the same designs you've done. So what you need to do is get this plugin, or it's a Chrome extension. It's called Go Full Page. So when you get it and you install the plugin and you click on it, it will take full screenshot of your page and send this page or send this design to me in the WhatsApp channel, and I'm going to rebuild it. Okay, I'm going to rebuild your design, and let's see how it goes. So thank you for watching. We're going to end the stream. All right.